So paranoia itself is actually very common. So having paranoid delusions, for instance, is the most common type of delusion in psychotic disorders. About nearly 70% of people with psychotic disorders will have some kind of paranoid beliefs. But interestingly, it's also very common in the general population. And again, it depends on how broad your definition is. But if you take a kind of mild paranoia, which consists, for instance, of kind of normal social evaluative concerns, so things like, thinking your friends are saying bad things behind your back, or that some people aren't to be trusted, or some people are not what they seem, or that just some people don't like you. Those kind of sort of mild paranoia is actually found in about 50% of the general population at some time. So paranoia is quite rampant in the general population. Then if you think in terms of severity, so when it comes to sort of having conspiracy theories whereby people really do intend to do you harm, and that sort of, that things are widespread and there are networks involved, then about 5% of the population will have these kind of extreme paranoid thoughts.
So, people talk about healthy paranoia. In other words, it's always good for us to have an understanding that other people might want to do us harm, even if we have no particular basis for thinking that in the moment, because it's something that keeps us a little bit alert and it keeps us aware about other people's motivations. It's worth saying, though, that people who have genuinely been persecuted are those who are much more likely to experience paranoia, and that is entirely understandable, even if their fears in the moment might not be a good reflection of the actual danger that's out there. And it's also worth saying that people who are very paranoid, especially people who may have psychosis, are much more likely to be persecuted, unfortunately, by people in their communities. So there are many aspects to paranoia. And we just want to be a little bit careful of steering away from some of the kind of stereotypes we have about tinfoil hats and worries about the CIA and things like this, because behind paranoia, unfortunately for many people, can lie genuine threats.